sungware. Ko ri ye medela shedi she yundigala phajodela chik tepal hame tu thungche ni kene mini chima chuma li popo ya indegi ta khabarchin yo yina ni teaching ki she tu tene yo na teaching ki ding indegi she tu gala tende yo na indegi ding rageri ki she tu gala tende yo na rageri ni tesu da ta teaching ki dal da ba inde teaching ki she bana mini chima chuma li popo da ta khabarchin dal da be che na dan di go ra tu sire ri dal den mal den se de sem ri dal den beton de ta tende jing ki Buddha Pumuni me bane lambda topi intan tanche hewa tang pume ki tenla kona le hejing samata mani soge tenla me hewe tatang karwe chetu o se sung tati riki puta ri pumo sunga de yujin oda tirko lambda lambda topi inte pum ta ri dal demba jilai higo mada ri madani higo mara pena pume tenla ni chik pukia ni ba yongen mada ya ni ba men dengi zama sitigala pume ina pagi chema dena ya zama ina kaji pu chagmido maning sini chengi ba chen la siyor kang la je chita mache bata tongi la mata ching me patan demba su ruach zame tate zame chaba sede chepa de lamla che chepa po ani pe janju sepa oda tele sungu guares tupcha la chanan di guares sungda tupcha ina lam nyam su lancha tang nyam su lempa po ta tu chanan di guares ta sungu esre
When this had been said, Holy Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, spoke to Venerable Shariputra and said, Shariputra, any noble sons or daughters who wish to practice the perfection of wisdom should see this way. So talking about, when I say noble son, any noble sons or daughters, noble here, the text is explaining, what does noble refer to. So the noble, I don't know if you have this book, the Essence of Heart by His Holiness. It says, the noble sons and noble daughters literally means sons and daughters of the lineage. And the lineage, the Tibetan word is the Rik lineage, or the family or lineage. So here, family or lineage, can be categorized into kind of three, same as the three, vehicles, Mahayana vehicle, then solitary realizer, and then heroes vehicle, three vehicles. So how can you identify, what practitioners belong to which lineage, and that can be known through, when you, here in the text, valid cognitive, is a text that use kind of logical, statement, and that. And using consequence or result as evidence, so that, it has a three different levels. So here, what the logical approach is that when you hear the teachings of Mahayana, the result, when you hear, if you belong to the Mahayana lineage, how can you know is when you listen to the Mahayana or when you hear Mahayana teachings, you sort of automatically have tears from your eyes, and literally translation will be raising up body hairs or goosebumps, and this happens because of the strong emotion, extremely kind of faith and trust in that particular teachings. So when you have that, you have this kind of automatic, sort of physical, sign that you belong to that category of teaching. So same happens with hearers and solitary realizers. So here, any, this is the word any. Why the word any used here is any as the word any kind of shows that not, it's kind of, it tells about general, it doesn't kind of specify a particular thing. So here any whoever is not afraid of emptiness, understanding of emptiness, and who has that level of faith and trust, so any, and here the text is kind of specifying a different interpretation of, I don't think in English it just says who wish to practice the perfection of wisdom, right? So in some Tibetan texts there's a different kind of slight different version of putting this into words of wish to practice the perfection of wisdom.
동이 서도 도용도 갈라 남자 쉬우지어스도 같이 같이 내가 땅복해 용도 갈라 아니 동이 돈데겐지기 다트티 갈라 테니 남자한테 실기어스고 테티 인수고서 간라저 제가 맞아 동이라 미자지 메바다 때바다 바수로 세야데 틴사레 동이 서도 도용도 갈라 냠냠메겐지 백 제가 빼기 동상기 로추 전부전도 shivuji ngamra legi arte sungtu tin sare oda tende mai bachine one chik tongi la tepaye ani phagi nawade se yonde gala ngamra menge jita menge mepaye nge tende sungru chigi ta nyamsulang thugure se sungre.
So any as we said before, anyone who is not scared of generating the understanding of wisdom, realizing emptiness, and who possess faith and trust, and or belief, because generally in the text it says that those who practitioners who has the understanding of emptiness for the first time, it is not easy, they get very excited when they realize that everything, is kind of empty by nature. There's a very kind of strong excitement, anxiety, which, is kind of sort of disturbance of mind, not kind of, this all happens. But here we're talking about those who is basically sort of ready, when emptiness generated in their understanding.
Zamitchepa sideta nyamsu lamba langcha lam thonglam omlang sikin ta tigitile yugu gores nyamsu langcha chepa side nyamsu lemba pochang chu sepa da gugu gores sushan digich.
This reading the Tibetan text, there's a explanation of a practitioner and the practice. So I guess when I look at the translation, probably this would be who wish to practice, who wish is the practitioner, and the practice is the practice of perfection of wisdom. So here kind of the Tibetan text is kind of explaining when you says who and the practice, who refers to, I guess in English kind of is more easy to understand. So the practice refers to the path that needs to be accomplished, that you can achieve, and the practice is the path, and who is the the practitioner. So in Tibetan, there's kind of some different interpretation by different scholars. Basically, it refers to the practitioner and the practice that path that the practitioner can accomplish.
Chupani Kaza the Chanchu Sepao, Chapani, Che the Sherek Parot Chimba Lamshirtin. Taniba Jeriziki Lende Tula, Digeje Merpatang, Jabani, little number, Tower Chate Jibe Parkis. City Galatati, Tegeje Merpata, Chanjus of Savajumbo, Papa Cheris, want to be set on the Bashara in Tegeje Merso. Ricky Boom, Kala, Sheriki Boom, the Mochiva, the Bachata Lapacha, there, the Portage. Ah, Pumung of Tata, Rajing in the Madame Yanta Bachas, Tao Sit. Then the Tita number of Pumung of Tata, Rajing in the Madame Yanta, but Tao Sit, Dorthengi, Sharing moving, Dorthengi, Dormash, and Kishiki gave me shares at that. Dorten de Gatula, Pumung of Tata, Rajing to Manaba Yantaba, Tao Stigala, then Zu Tomba, Tombani Zulu Cantomani, Minus at the city, Lengua. What at the Indigala, the Dortengi city, Pumung of Tata, Rajing to Manaba Yantaba, Taos. The Zu Tomba Jabani, Les Ujibe Parki, Ling Yapanseto, Sita, Sheribu Lenze at the Uzu Tombane, Lesu, Jibe Parki, Kepanzato. Sindu Nana, Palcher, Lapsit Miguela, Pumbung about the Daga, Kyang Jibi Kyangdani, Rajingi Tomba Maze, Ngai Wayang, Rajingi Tomba, Tembain, Pe, Rame Niki. Torim Tembayinos, Oda Pumbudi Pumbung of Rajing Maze Kaza, Nadangairua, Kaza Korambe Pagi Didaga, Kaza Gadame, the Chigidame, Niga Nipe, Torim de Thingor, is sorry. Chigi Pumbu Rajing Motubato Tobate, Chigidam. Chigidame Chadera. Marajing Matubate, Kazagadame Chadera. What the Torim de think your race. Rajing Tong Jabani, Rangwini Tong Jaba, Imbi, Ulkitani, ne some Ulking win motivating in last. But I, Maranzo Chipagi, Tanya, Tendi Japala, Mateba. Nang Yondigana, Sujila Mataba, Pagirani Yongi, Nangara, or that Tisungos. The Peditilo, they are Milam to Kampa, Navena, Najing, New and Nangsu, Mainjang, Nankin shipping winning, Par Zuba Yimbi, Chinamki Kunzup, Zulu Dikona, Tar Guesos. Tadi, so. Milam Fede, Senzambe Kugure, Senzambal Fede, or the Tindigala, Chipone, Maranzo Milam Nala, G. Rijawa Kangela Sobana in Dugala, Pagi, Yubat Devaji Nangor, the Ingu, Shepe Pagi, Nangsasam Remado, Crown Yo Marwa. What it is Sungar. Tangu Atana Rajingi Trupa, Tondam Chipi Ripe. Gacha in base. The Gachala, Tondam Gikapar Musu Majarka, Tungi Javana, Niting in Tachimba, or that Tangi Kaparan, those Chioda. What at the Tondam Chiberbe. Ta Muni Tondam Chichi Riba Sidigala, Tongi Tubchiki Ripata, Pena, Deme Tubchiki Ripa, Tendel Ani Ripika Potende Jitensi, Digiti Park, but Jay in the Gala, Ko Pagani Young in the Kendo Gora. Pagani Chip, Suchila Mateva Yoba, Kangi Yoga, Sutu to Duvat, Kigiora, Indigala, Tondam Chiki Ripin Gachadi, then do it, Tondam Chiki Gacha in Sierra Terry. Tondam Che in the Gala, Ta Dina Yovas on the Rago Mara, Che in the Gala Pagani, Suchilam, Penna Shinta, Shinta Zonigina, Shinta Yala to the part, Che in the Gala, Dishinta Ndoa. Ta Yala Kanga, Hot Zamdilla, Shinta Srebat, Tanyatana, Ko Shinti Chawat Chetu War. What in this? Indugala, Naranto, Shinta, Yala la Matebra, Pagin, two to the years on the Angro. What a tea, Sungar, country. Tondam Jigi, Gacha in Siate, then which is Sungar. Ripping Gachala, maybe Capri. Ringun Gachala, Yumijiri. Ringun Gacha, the Yamjape. Yamjape, Pumpa Tabu, Yamjape, Lola Chargo Mari, Ringun Gacha Chadio. Then Drup Ripping Gachare, Ringun Gachare, Yamjape Lan Yomare, Yamjape Molan Yomare, any Ripe Pagiche in the Hosel War. The Tintigala, Ringun Gachali, Yumijiri. Ripping Gachala, maybe cap.
The weather Harson
La, Ringu.
Ringulana.
Ringu is a Yamjabamola. Pumpa Tabude, Yamjabamola, Ringu Gacha Chadero, Kunsupa Chadero, Nango Mara.
Noble sons or daughters. Why sons and daughters? These two are mentioned in the text. It says that path and realizations. These are only generated within the mind stream of male and female. And here it kind of says that transsexual, or somebody who is not capable of completely being a human or completely being a male, I guess kind of exclude from the generating a realization. Genesis length of journey is when this has been said, whole basically 당보 대표는 당보 대신 저 보통 뭐 비게 다 되고 내 생각에 대해서 얘한테 진짜 봐주면 제가 정말 요새가 봐서 좀 많이 고마워 그냥 생각이 셔야 되듯이 세다되고 셔야 되는 주신 무슨 거 Ricky from Rio Hampshire for some children. Ricky from I'm checking the translation, because when you read the question part, it only says that any noble son who wishes, any noble son, and it didn't mention about noble daughters, So thinking why in the question there's only son and not daughters. I'm checking that translation part. In the Tibetan text, it has a both, any noble son and noble daughters who wishes to engage in the practice, in the question part. So. You said, when he said learn Tibetan, there's a big reason behind that. Professional wisdom is there. Yeah, in this Thupten Jinpa's translation, the second paragraph. Why I was reading the third paragraph is because the second paragraph I didn't see the daughters, So in the second paragraph of your text, any noble son who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should train in what way? In this translation, how should any noble son or noble daughter, the word I mentioned here, who wishes to engage in the practice of profound perfection of wisdom train? So this is, you can see it's more complete. So I don't know, Jamie, when somebody asked me how about this translation, I look at it and it looks good, but I didn't kind of check detail words by words. So Thupten Jinpa's is kind of, can see it's more complete. So what we have been explaining, talking about is the question about the question asked by the Shariputra asked to Avalokiteshvara, and now Avalokiteshvara answers. This answer in the third paragraph. When this has been said, Holy Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, spoke to Venerable Shariputra and said, Shariputra, any noble sons or daughters who wish to practice the perfection of wisdom should see this way. They should see insightfully, correctly, repeatedly that even the five aggregates are empty of inherent nature. Form is empty and emptiness is form.
Tati Senzambe Lura Jara Chitan, Tangu Lura Jara, Niudu Sirwa. Senzambe Lura Jarna, Karzan, Zu Tomba, Tombani, Zulikan Tombani, Jane Maino, Senzambe Lura Jarana, Zusu Nawatini, Zunzin Nikis, Rua than Zimba, Rua Yulchi, Zimba, Shebaji, Niki, Tonwa. Tonwe Rari, Nyamsung Zimbate, Nyamsungi Rari. Takazan Rari, Zandoson Rari, Sitigala, Nipe Karsa, Ship, Kanakona Chobi Sheba Indigala, Ko Nyonsam Koranjamado, Rari Yula, Ruangin Yongo Mara, Chazan Yonsam, shipping Yonsam Konanj, Nuachata, Kanal Tiki, Sheba Sigore. What a Di Indigala Rariko. Rari Dini, Zusu Nawa. Tende Kanatiki Shebate Dini, Zusu Nawa. Zu Nawale Rari Zenmai. Koran Taka Ramada, Telijembe Rari Zudias, Teo Maris Sundwa. Maimbe Rari Le Kyang Zusu Nawa Zen. Maino Jepetono, Senzambelula Jana, Zusu Jargua. Kanche, Zutang, Zunzin, Niki Tonwa, Tonwe, Rari. Rari Tini, Zusuna. Zu Nawale, Rari Zenmain. Rari Likang, Rari Sidigala, Kandis Chagidu, Senzambella Rari, Shepa Koran Yongenjimado, Zaguni, Zoo, the Zoo, Guni Yongo Amari, Togo Amari. Or that this Senzambella, the Rigi Kogudo, Zoo Tombo, Tombani Zoo, Zulikan Tombani Germany, said. That thank you, Altana, Zusu Nawa, Zusu Nawena. Mepa was Nanatu Nantu Tagarang Nantu Najinji Yorabizan Yomaris. That Nantul te Mepa Tagarangi Pagi Zu Tanya Zangas Jatu Gorwa Mepena Zusunawa. Zusunawa Teta Tagarang Mepa Inki, the Mepa Telejembe Salcopa Mainos. That Chip Nang. Zusu Nawa Tagarang, Mepa Inki, the Mepa Telijembe, and the Tapagi, Nanzu, Nantul Pagi, Telijemba Zu Yorabs, and Yomarwa, Nantul Telijemba Yomaris, Yan Telijemba Yigis and Salway Yomar Tagarang, Nantu Tagaram, Maim, but Tagarang Zuris. Dini Jendu Zusu Nawa Imbe, Dele Losu, Yoba Maimbe, Donos. That Chick Hagi Nansulte Nachi Susikio Nansul Condition Gore. Sidigala Pagi ni Tutup the Yunding, you'll think the Yunding, also Nangsul Yora. The Nangsul the Kegi na Nangsul Tagaran Kena Zusu Nawa. Mepaos Nangsul Tagaram Mepa Tagarangi Pagi Zugit. Ah, and it's Senzam Kaptubuji, Sunshanware.
Form is the Shariputra, the third paragraph. Shariputra, any noble sons or daughters who wish to practice the perfection of wisdom should see this way. They should see insightfully, correctly, and repeatedly that even the five aggregates are empty of inherent nature. Even the five aggregates are empty of inherent nature. So why word even is used here is, so before that, although it is not mentioned here, but the understanding is not only does, mind, we used that before, me and mind, not only mind is, empty of inherent nature, but even the five aggregates are empty, so even kind of also shows that mind is not mind is also lack of inherent nature. There's the indirect meaning here. So this also shows the the sequence of realizing true selflessness, selflessness of person and selflessness of phenomena. So 당면이 그 동물은 뭐든 당면이 그 강사 당면 최고 당면이 거기 당고 또 당면이 그림 버때 템버야 이노래 성에데
다들이 강사게 다음에 당고 또 얘니 치기 다음에 또
So sequence indirectly shows the sequence of realization of self and selflessness of phenomena and selflessness of person. So selflessness of person is the one that needs to be realized first and then move on to the selflessness of phenomena. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form, and so it's explaining inherent, empty of inherent nature. This simply refers to, we mentioned this many times before, lack of existence from object side, objective existence. The way phenomena exist, generally, to us, it appears that things, exist by their own self, or objectively, or self-sufficiently, but that is not, in reality. So the example used here is the, dream. When we have a dream, in the dream, we have lots of, kind of images in our mind during the dream, and so these dreams, when we have images, different images, these images in our dream is not caused by the images themselves. It is rather created by your consciousness. Whatever you see in the dream, houses, building, whatever, it is not created by those objects out there, popping up in your mind as a dream, but rather these are the, creation of your mind. So, and this is, very kind of typical example used by the mind-only school, when they say that everything is, exists at the level of mind, mind-only nature. So here, that kind of understanding, we need to kind of understand, when we usually kind of differentiate between the ultimate and the conventional, reality of the phenomena. So this part, there's a emptiness about the form is emptiness and emptiness is form. The lack of inherent nature or emptiness. There's a two different kind of interpretation by middle way consequent school and middle way consequent school and mind only school. So this, of course, it's not in your root text, but in Tibetan text it kind of explains further. Two different schools has a different. For example, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. They use a different language, to represent basically the same concept based on their own interpretation. So we'll stop here and continue next Sunday.
Yeah. Yang judge so many.
Meeting and shall
Teta kunye jesu salo chike wa lila kamje raplo kesan jabi jawa kamje Lajin gege tawa ndi kunjan sambo cheche raplo